I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Championship Night here for the Sim Racers Club Premier Series. Bizzle, get out your favorite tuxedo t-shirt because we're going to crown a champion. My name is Chris Graham, joining the booth, as always, by Mr. Patrick Byrne. And not only is it Championship Night, but we have a tie, an active tie for the points championship lead between Johnny Avilla and Kevin Dyck. This is truly a man-to-man showdown to figure out who our champion is going to be.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this on the iRacing platform. Usually you get one 7,000 iRating guy that just runs away with the whole thing after week 3. To see it go all the way to the end in a season as long as these guys run, it's fantastic. NASCAR wishes they could do this in the real world.
I was just going to say, NASCAR wishes they could get something like this. Practice is down to the...
happen naturally.
Yes, well, that's the big one. Natural outcomes here. This is going to be, quite frankly, crazy. There's a lot of points on offer tonight. You get one for leading a lap, one for the most laps led, one for the fastest lap, one for the hard charger, plus a bonus point for a clean race, a 0x. That one could be tough here tonight at Phoenix because these cars are not handling well for these drivers.
No, I was talking to some of the drivers before the race, and they were saying this track is hot, slick, it's rough tonight. And seeing a couple cars snap oversteer, especially out of turn 2, and I think turn 4 as well, a couple of them were complaining of.
Yeah, it's going to be, well, quite frankly, somewhere between interesting and a mess is what we could see here tonight. And I'm all for it. I love the chaos, carnage, and everything else that comes with it. I was in the booth with the Will Worsler Racing guys. They were loose, screwing around, having fun. What was your feeling like? You were down talking to Kevin Dyck in the pre-race.
I don't want to say nervous, but definitely getting the jitters now. I mean, it all comes down to tonight. He was definitely in full focus mode, definitely trying to just zero in, get in the zone, and get himself mentally prepared for tonight. Two different schools of thought, and both of them I've seen work depending on the driver. So,
yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Sometimes you can be too loose when you're talking, about how things are going to shake out. Let's pick up the first of our championship contenders out on the racetrack right now. It is Kevin Dyck in the custom paints and die casts, number 52. Off of the old turn 4, now turn 2. The start of the longest pit lane in the history of motorsports. Just getting the info from Race Control. Stages tonight at lap 40 and lap 90. Lap 40 is going to trigger a caution flag. Lap 90 will not. There's going to be a lot of pit strategy here because some drivers were saying lap 40 might be too early to pit if you want to save tires for late in the race. Other guys are saying, hey, I'm going to make this a one-stop race. I'll stop at lap 40 and try to stretch the fuel. There's a lot that's going to happen in terms of strategy here.
yeah, and honestly, I haven't turned any laps to New Phoenix. I know I even run TNT. That's like their favorite track. I haven't driven the next-gen car here. I have no idea what a good strategy is going to be tonight, if the car is going to be drivable if you try and make it on a one-stop. But we'll see. It's going to come down to it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure to see how this all pans out. Andrew Moore Jr. going to be top of the speed charts right now at a 27.452, but Kevin Dyck goes faster, 27.441. The gauntlet has been set. Kevin Dyck, a master of starting at the front. He's won 38% of the pole positions this season, claiming 5 of them over the course of the year. Johnny Avilla, almost as good. He's claimed 3. These guys have added up for 60-some% of the pole positions this season. Interesting stuff already.
I'm not sure I would want to go and grab the pole. With that extra point on grabs for hard charger, I'd almost think maybe skip qualifying tonight and start from the back. You do not have to qualify to get the hard charger bonus point. You do need it to get the monetary cash for hard charger, though.
That's interesting. Johnny Avilla on the racetrack right now, the second of our championship competitors. We'll run you through the numbers over the course of the nights, but it absolutely is insane. In 12 starts this season, Johnny Avilla, his average start is 4th. His average finish is 3 2/3. 3 wins, 10 top 5s, 12 top 10s. Every race, he's finished inside the top 10. The big number, though, is that top 5s. If we finish tied on points, it goes to wins. Avilla currently leads it. Assuming Kevin Dyck gets the win, Johnny Avilla would still take the championship on the strength of the number of top 5s he's earned over the course of the season.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is winning the championship. Sometimes it comes down to how your whole season has been. So getting those top 5s early on in the season when it doesn't really matter, it just goes to show
it matters.
Matter.
But Avilla bumps it off the wall at the end of lap number 2. It's not going to matter as he goes quick time, 27.377, 27.37 with a 7 for Johnny Avilla. He will be your pole sitter as it stands right now. 6 minutes left in qualifications. Thomas Wilhite, Max Williams have not yet been on the racetrack. Only 13 cars on the entry list for this evening. Going to make a little bit of a difference taking a look at the point standings as we go the rest of the way back. Let's see. Andrew Moore Jr. could possibly pass Tyler Seville for 3rd. However, Seville going to be lining up on the outside of row number 1. Moore going to be lining up right behind him. The only other battles, Will Worsler is 8 back of Colton Harvey, but Will not on the entry list here tonight, so he will not be able to gain anything. Tim Knott, Thomas Wilhite, 5 points back of Mike McConville. Thomas Wilhite, 6 points back of Tim Knott. That is for the 11th, 12th, and 13th position, so just outside the top 10. As it stands heading in to this final evening. I'm almost like, I know I'm going to enjoy the Wednesday nights off for the winter time, at least most of the winter, because this is a long series. We've been at this since, I guess, early April, middle of March maybe with these guys. Hopefully, we're going to be back with them for a 36-race schedule starting in the middle of February. Something tells me they're going to run very close to the real-world NASCAR schedule. That's just abject insanity. These guys are going to do this week in and week out. I do have to say, though, I like the split championship format where you have a spring champ, a fall champ, and then an overall champion that claims the big prize. Because that kind of gives everybody a chance to reset, gives you a whole second half of the season to look forward to where you're starting kind of clean and green, so to speak.
It helps with the participation fall off in getting new drivers, where you can have a driver come in halfway through the season and still have a shot at a championship. And just because you trashed your fall or your early spring efforts doesn't mean you've trashed your fall efforts. So I like that split.
Max Williams out on the racetrack right now. Lap number 1 for Max is going to be good for 9th quick. 28.301 seconds. For the YJ Media Georgia Tech number 8. We talked a little bit about Johnny Avilla. Kevin Dyck has been equally superlative this season. 5 poles, average start 3.4, average finish 5.5. 2 wins, 8 top 5 finishes, 11 top 10s in those 13 starts. And he only has 18 incidents over the course of the season, which is absolutely ridiculous as compared to the 44 for Johnny Avilla. That makes a difference here. Quite frankly, that's part of the reason that Kevin Dyck is still contending in the championship. He has one more race. He has more bonus points, 23 to Johnny Avila's 20, and he has been incredible at piling up the stage points late in the season here.
Yeah, and stage points are what tonight's going to come down to. Is 12 or so cars on the grid, you get 2 stage wins, and that pretty much seals the deal for you.
Yeah, you really could. I didn't even think of that. If Kevin Dyck is able to win both stages, it's kind of game over for Johnny Avila at that point. If you're Avila, you kind of just have to stay close. If you think you can get the win, the important thing is stay close. Don't let that guy out of your sight.
Yeah, don't do what you did last week and spin on the last lap of the stage and end up getting scored last for it.
Yeah, that's not good. Well, yeah, I was not here last week. Recap last week for us. It looked like an interesting one, looking at the timing and scoring sheets.
Well, it was fantastic. Stage 1, Johnny Avila's got like a 17,000 lap lead. And he's coming through turn 4. I'm already calling it. He's that far ahead. And then all of a sudden, caution's out. Johnny Avila spun around, get the replay, and there you have it. Just card snapped on him. It was insane.
We've been seeing a little bit of that here tonight in practice as well. Actually seeing the 8 of Max Williams. He's taking this added time in practice to work on his pit entry and pit exit. That's going to be really important tonight. We've seen several drivers in practice blow that entry. If you have to do it at race speed, good luck, bud.
Yeah, I haven't driven, obviously. Like I said, I haven't driven the new Phoenix, but from what I've seen in the pit entry, it almost reminds me of like Darlington, where you got to cut the corner way down and get it on the brakes while you're still in the corner and cars are right on your rear bumper and it's very easy to overshoot. And I like how they still kept the safer barrier up what was the front stretch when there's no stalls over there.
Yes, it does make for an incredibly long pit lane, and especially like in a field like tonight where you've only got 13 or so cars, almost unnecessarily long. Now, I get it that you might have a sports car series or something that runs something dumb and you have 60 cars on the grid, or even potentially an iRacing event where you got a ton of cars on the grid. But outside of those types of things, this pit lane is ridiculously long. You're basically entering and exiting at the same point on the racetrack.
In turn 3 and 4 there, where that O'Reilly is, I'm surprised they put the extra safer barrier out there. Do you know how much more area they could have taken away below the yellow line that these guys could have raced on?
Yeah, I think that might be part of the reason not to, quite frankly. I was watching Hunter Waters trying to run the apron for the vast majority of this racetrack. And quite frankly, he was pulling it off, too. Want to make sure we get the comments in here, let everybody know. Feel free to check in with us. We'll try to do our best to get your comments up on the air. John Moeller saying, glad to be back racing. Yeah, good to have you back on the grid tonight with us here, John. And field is starting to grid up. Let's take a look here at the starting lineup for tonight's championship decider at the Phoenix Raceway. Starting on the pole with a lap time of 27.377 seconds from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. One of your tied championship leaders, Johnny Avila, lining up alongside teammate out of the Will Worsler Racing Stables, only 54 thousandths back. It's Tyler Seville. Kevin Dyck, your other championship protagonist. Hey, the championship's going to the Great White North one way or the other here tonight. Kevin Dyck lining up alongside Pennsylvania's Andrew Moore Jr. Hunter Waters and Max Williams on row number 2. Top 4 separated by less than a tenth. It's already a quarter second back to 6th place, Max Williams. Troy Haight, Brad Allison on row number 4. Row 5 will have Tim Knott and Mike McConville. Daniel Pinkston, John Moeller going to line up on row number 6. Row 7 all alone will be the number 19 of Thomas Wilhite. 13 cars for 175 laps around the Phoenix Raceway. And here's where things already get crazy. The pace truck is already in, but they're nowhere close to the start zone. It's going to be wild here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoy the show. As always, the start of the Sim Racers Club Premier Series is going to be all yours. Oh, and we've already got yellow. Caution is out on the speedway, and trouble for Kevin Dyck. Troy Haight, Tyler Seville involved as well. Oh my goodness. What in the world happened at the start of this one? Take a look at the Hot Shoe Raceway instant replay. Oh, there's contact between Seville and Kevin Dyck. Seville gets hit hard. I think Kevin Dyck got away with it. Several cars going to be involved. Troy Haight, Tyler Seville, Tim Knott, all involved in that incident. My goodness. Let's take a look at this one from overhead. See what happened. Oh, man, Tyler Seville going for the apron.
Yeah, I guess Seville was anticipating Dyck to go down there, and that's one thing you got to watch out for when you're the car on the high side is he might not go down there.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Johnny Avila will be your race leader. The 3 cars involved in the incident, other than Kevin Dyck, are now at the head of the field in front of Johnny Avila. They'll get the wave around, so nobody losing a lap in the process here. I can't believe some of these cars are not on pit lane.
Well, you got to remember, they had just gotten on the throttle, so even though the crash may have looked violent, it was relatively a slow-speed crash.
Yeah, I don't know. We had somebody airborne in that one.
I mean, I've gotten my land yacht airborne, and I was only doing like 35 miles an hour. It don't take much.
Yes. In the battle for the championship, Johnny Avila getting 1 point for the lap led. We're going to keep tabs on this for you throughout the course of the night here. Kevin Dyck on pit lane. Drama early on.
It looks like he's just taking a splash of fuel.
Yeah, already playing the strategy game here is the 52 of Kevin Dyck. I would even imagine a little bit, that's a chance to just kind of reset yourself. Slow up, down pit lane, catch your breath, get back to work now.
Yeah, as well as, you know what, if you're already restarting back there, there's no advantage to taking that extra splash. I mean, he was only in the box for not even 4 seconds. It takes the fuel guy more time to get the can over the wall than that. So he literally just maybe half a gallon of fuel. Makes a difference, though. It'll make about a lap and a half difference.
Changes the complexion of things significantly here. Looks like we may have an EOL penalty coming up here for Tyler Seville. He is going to drop to the end of the line. One of the unique things about the Sim Racers Club is they have the ability to say, my bad, I caused this wreck, take the EOL yourself, and it kind of limits potential penalties further down the line. Probably a smart move there by Tyler Seville. Now, not sure if that one came from race control or not. We'll see if they shoot us the message over. But already getting ready to go back to green here at lap number 6 when they take the green flag. It's going to be Johnny Avila, Hunter Waters on row number 1, Andrew Moore Jr. and Max Williams on row 2. Brad Allison, Mike McConville on row 3, Daniel Pinkston, John Moeller row 4, Kevin Dyck, Tim Knott on row number 5, Tyler Seville, Troy Haight, both being scored 1 lap down. Thomas Wilhite appears to be officially out of this race. Green flag back in the air. We are underway once again. Johnny Avila going to be clear. Everybody getting single file. Now they're going to, well, I thought they were going to settle in. Hold on to it, Brad Allison. What a save down to the inside.
Just slowly chase the car down to that wall. That was fantastic.
Oh, my goodness. Craziness going on here at Phoenix. We expected it a little bit. Kevin Dyck has already passed Daniel Pinkston for 7th and Brad Allison for 6th. He's charging his way back through the field. Seeing Sim Racing Realtor checking in the comments saying, yes, it did. He claimed it. So there you go. Seeing that one in reference to Tyler Seville taking ownership of the first caution flag of the evening. Let's pick up Kevin Dyck, see where he's running. And actually, let's get you the fancy stuff here. The cool looking side-by-side. Left-hand side of your screen has Kevin Dyck. Right-hand side of your screen has Johnny Avila. Let's see. We're going to go back to the other one because it looks like Trading Paints hasn't updated on screen 2. We'll get that one taken care of for you.
Kevin Dyck right on the bumper of Mike McConville. Mike McConville just steps out of the way. He goes, nope, this one's all yours, buddy. Don't
need any of those shenanigans. You don't want to be that guy when you're racing here. And I know it's kind of a joke to say it a little bit, but you really don't want to be the guy that gets in the way of the championship. That's just not how this entire series of guys likes to drive.
No, when you've been racing the whole championship all the way down to the wire, it's respectful to just let everyone to go out there and win the championship if they're eligible.
Yeah, let them go do their thing. You do yours. I'm going to run my race as I need to run it, and that's about it. Now we can show you the cool side-by-side views here. There you see Johnny Avila, your race leader, in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Kevin Dyck, we're following along on the main view here.
I guess that incident, it also eliminates Kevin from getting the clean race tonight.
Yeah, actually, caution flag is out. Caution flag number 2, trouble on the racetrack for Mike McConville. Take a look at the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay here. See what happened to the 57. Got it down, couple of tires onto the apron, starts to break loose. Hold on to it, Mike. He does. Oh, barely clips the attenuator. That's going to put us under the caution flag for the second time here this evening. Kevin Dyck probably not complaining about that. He's back up to the 5th position. Let's see if we can't sneak a quick word in here with one of our championship contenders, Kevin Dyck. And I'll tell you what, Kevin, not necessarily the way you wanted to start things, pucker factor Zulu, but recovering nicely.
Yeah, wasn't quite sure what was going to go on at that very start. Obviously, you got guys that cut the dog leg, and I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do or what Tyler was going to do out there. And I guess that's just a thing that happens here, and just got to watch for it, I guess.
Yeah, now we noticed that you did come down pit lane. You put a splash of fuel in the car. Just kind of shoring yourself up in terms of pit strategy?
Just making sure I didn't have any damage.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck the rest of the way here. Hopefully we're talking to you again at the end of this thing.
Sounds good.
So there you go. There's Pie-Eyed Racing's Kevin Dyck. I'll tell you what, pretty calm, cool, and collected is what I'm seeing there. Johnny Avilla way down on the apron, probably trying to get some coolness onto those tires. Take a look here and see what our weather conditions are going to be looking like this evening. Haven't told you about those yet. 78-degree ambient temperature, winds out of the north at 2 miles an hour, but how about it? 101-degree track temperature. That's hot and slick.
Cool. That's fairly cool for Phoenix in the daytime.
Yes.
It's a dry heat.
Now, does it really make that big a difference trying to chase some cool track surface, you know, running that low? I mean, is it placebo effect as much as it is actually helping?
I would have to test that in a car with onboard tire temp gauges, but I would think it's just placebo. I would think maybe getting somewhere with shadows with billboards, maybe all the way up there against the wall, might help a little bit, but even still. I know there's a measurable decrease in temp running in the grass, like if you were to run the left sides in the grass at Charlotte, but you would be getting a 1x doing that, so.
Yeah, you're not giving up the points. That's the big one. And
no grass
actually,
to be found here in Phoenix, though.
Well, and here you go. The 0x point for Kevin Dyck goes out the window. That's another big one to keep in mind for the late in the race. Kevin Dyck actually did that several times. We talked about him being one of the cleanest drivers. Taking a look at the races at the intermediates, we'll say, under 2 miles, over 3/4 mile, it really has been pretty impressive. Kevin Dyck, a little bit better than Johnny Avilla, but since round number 10 at Charlotte, Johnny Avilla, average finish 2.3. Kevin Dyck, 1.7. An extra bonus point per race for Kevin Dyck. And he outscores Johnny Avilla 60.7 to 50 as we go back to green flag racing. A lot of work still to do here for Kevin Dyck if he wants to get up towards the front. Andrew Moore Jr. thought about trying to get up inside of Hunter Waters entering turn number 2. I'm going to screw that up at some point tonight. Call it turn 3 because that's what it should be.
That's what it was.
And we're almost got into the back of Waters too. Make the big dive down onto the apron. It's funny, you make that dive and it gains you all of about, what, 3 feet, 4 feet by the time you get back to the racing surface?
It does save about a tenth, though. The time saved is considerable enough to make it worthwhile.
Well, and we just saw it at the entry to turn 3. Moore was able to really get the car pinched down towards the apron. We talked to Johnny Avilla in the pre-race, and he said, I am trying to win stage 1, stage 2, and every point I possibly can. I don't want to give one up anywhere. He was trying the same thing last week. Like you said, he bent himself trying to pull that off. It's interesting. When you're trying to be that aggressive, sometimes that can come back to bite you a little bit, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes just overdriving the car, it can work out for you. You can get those stage points. Like we said, if you win both stages, that pretty much seals the deal. That's 20 points right there. But if you end up losing the race because you wrecked yourself going for a stage win, then it's all for naught.
Let's take a look here. Go on board with Hunter Waters. Pick you up the side-by-side here. (90210) is checking in the comments. He's fun to get to talk to. Let's see, get it pulled up here. I'm so glad that NASCAR went from a track that doesn't really have good racing, Homestead, to a track that doesn't really have good racing. I would argue the racing at Homestead was really good, especially with the Gen 6 car.
It was really good from a diehard race fan point of view. From your average NASCAR fan looking for smashy crashy, Homestead sucked.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I go back to the year Tony Stewart passed everybody 11 times to win the championship, and I do mean passed everybody 11 times. You can watch a car march through the field, and you can do something similar here at Phoenix as well. But for the argy-bargy, grab-assy type of fans, yeah, I can see how that's a little bit, well, lackluster maybe.
I've got your schedule for your typical NASCAR fan. They would start at Daytona, go to Bristol, then go to Talladega, then go to Martinsville. And then you're just going to rinse and repeat that for all 36 weeks. Might
that
visit
sounds
Auto Club
about
once.
accurate. Such a travesty that that racetrack is going away.
For no reason! There's a perfectly good short track. Half an hour, like 5 miles up the road and 8 hours in LA traffic.
Yes, that is correct. Irwindale is a gem of a racetrack. Quite frankly, would be a... yes, 90210 says you forgot Watkins Glen. Yes. Oh, a little bit of a bounce off the wall for Max Williams.
I go to Watkins Glen almost every year. And when I get my couple drinks in me and get into my argy-bargy NASCAR fan, that track sucks. Now, when I'm watching practice and qualifying and stone cold sober, holy crap, as a racing fan, that track is fantastic.
Yeah, I think Marcus Ambrose did a little bit to pollute the thought process of racing fans about how great Cup cars are on the road courses.
No, Marcus Ambrose is just a great road course racer in terrible cars. But he's also a V8 supercar guy.
I can agree with that. So we're going to follow along here as split screen as the leaders are starting to pull away a little bit. Johnny Avilla holding on to about a quarter of a second gap over Andrew Moore Jr. Hunter Waters about 0.6 of a second back of Moore. He's going to be closely followed by Kevin Dyck and Max Williams. Everybody else separated by at least 1 second. So we're going to kind of keep things right here at the front for you. Yes, you're talking about your argy-bargy NASCAR fans. As the Australians say, become a bogan.
That's fair.
Yes, that is you, if I have ever seen it or heard it.
Bathurst is definitely on my bucket list.
Yes, it is. Man, Hunter Waters way down to the inside. He tried to take the safer barrier down. But Kevin Dyck able to get around. We're going to be 10 laps to go next time they get to the line here in stage number 1 and what will be the only stage break of the night. This championship battle, I mean, we're harping on it, I get it. But go back to round number 8. That's the first time Johnny Avilla or Kevin Dyck claimed the top spot in the championship standings. After round number 8, they were 1-2 in the points. Kevin Dyck was 6 points back. Round 8 happening at Texas, I believe. Yes, Texas Motor Speedway. Following week after Talladega, Kevin Dyck was 20 points back. Johnny Avilla does not run week 10 at Charlotte. That puts Kevin Dyck to the points lead. Avilla 1 back. Following round 11 at Martinsville, Kevin Dyck opened it up to a 13-point lead. Then we head to Homestead. Kevin Dyck gets the win. Johnny Avilla, 13 points back. After round number 12, at Homestead, Kevin Dyck, 8 points back. Then we hit Vegas. Johnny Avilla grabs the win. They're tied. It has been back and forth all the entire second half of the season between Kevin Dyck and Johnny Avilla. And something tells me we're going to see a little bit more of that here tonight, as we are about ready to put lap number 34 up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Avila's got it early, but Kevin Dyck, he's a pretty good closer, so I can see him coming back and doing some damage in stage number 2.
Johnny Avilla, we've seen be a little bit better at managing the tires over the course of the season. Kevin Dyck gotten much better at that, as especially the late part of the season here. The only place that kind of compares to this is Gateway, at least in terms of the schedule that they've run this season. Kevin Dyck finishing second there after starting on the pole, finished with 23 laps led, 2 bonus points for leading a lap, and the clean race bonus. Avila finished 5th after starting 12th. No laps led, 2 bonus points for the fastest lap and the hard charger. As it stands right now, hard charger would go to Andrew Moore Jr., who is +2. Almost everybody in the field is +2.
Yeah, it's pretty much a dead heat the whole way through. I'm almost willing to say there's no chance Kevin Dyck gets the hard charger. Although if he wins, he'd be +2 as well. But it's too early in the race to call that.
Automod is not playing nicely with 90210 owned. Hey, I'd rather you harp on the championship when it's a season-long thing. I want some knowledge about what's happened over the season to remind myself of things I've forgotten. It's better than harping on the chase every fucking week. Yeah.
And there goes our YouTube monetization.
No, we're good. So, working lap number 38, John Moeller going a lap down. Daniel Pinkston would be the next car to go 1 lap down, but that will not happen before the end of stage number 1. Yes, it's more than 60 seconds. The YouTube bots don't care. Yes. So the question now becomes, what do we see for strategy here as we work lap number 39? Pits are closed. Anybody that comes into the pits now will get an EOL penalty prior to the green flag.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to pit now. They want the stage points.
Yeah, they need the stage points at this point. Maybe for somebody like McConville, Daniel Pinkston, maybe you try it, but it is such a long lap. I mean, you're a crazy amount of time down pit lane. Already through turns 1 and 2, working lap number 40 here. Johnny Avila's going to have to get basically 1 more corner in.
I was just about to say, coming out of turn 4, and Avila's going to get it. And then I remembered, they screwed the track up.
That is correct. Now this time out of turn number 4, green and white checkered in the air. Johnny Avila going to pick up 10 big points for stage number 1. Kevin Dyck going to earn 8, finishing in position number 3. Right about as Johnny Avilla gets back to the start-finish line, we'll see the caution flag. And there it is, yellow flag number 2 on the night.
I need to pull out my calculator to do simple math because apparently I'm an idiot.
It's a 3-point lead for Johnny Avilla. Brad Allison electing to stay out on the racetrack. Everybody heading down pit lane.
Even with the calculator, I can't even. Nope, I'm done.
Seeing 10th was a lap down, so we have to go one more to throw the caution. That makes sense. Down and away, race off a pit lane. It will be Johnny Avilla beating Andrew Moore Jr., Kevin Dyck, Hunter Waters, John Moeller off the pit lane. Long pit stops for Max Williams, Troy Haight, Mike McConville, and Daniel Pinkston. Williams finally down and away, 37.4 seconds. Troy Haight stopped going 36.3.
So if the checker flag were to fall right now, Johnny Avilla would have picked up 53 points. Kevin would have picked up 46, putting Kevin at 7 points behind Johnny Avilla right now. He can get one of those back by leading a lap at some point in this race. Get one of those back by getting the fastest lap. But that still puts him 5 points behind. So he's got some catch-up to do.
Well, yeah, you're making the math a little bit too hard here, I think. Because, quite frankly, like we talked about, win stage 1, win stage 2. You're really close to getting your number there, especially if you're doing what Johnny Avila's done. He's led all but one lap here tonight. Brad Allison taking one lap lead here under this caution flag. Tyler Seville electing to stay out on the racetrack. He will get the wave around. Put Tyler Seville back on the lead lap. That could be big late in this race. The only teammate that Kevin Dyck has out here right now is Andrew Moore Jr. There is an armada of Will Worsler racing cars out here trying to help Johnny Avilla win this championship. Brad Allison, Tyler Seville, Daniel Pinkston, and Hunter Waters all entered in this race. That can be big to have some teammate help.
Absolutely. They can help just get in front of you, put a car in between you and Kevin Dyck, or even slow him down while the tires are fresh. Make sure he doesn't grab that fastest lap.
McConville, Moeller, Seville still catching up to the pack here. They may catch them at about full speed. Field approaching the restart zone. We will see the green flag. No more planned yellows the rest of the way. Andrew Moore Jr. giving the teammate a little bit of help. Kevin Dyck up to position number 2.
Kevin Dyck's going hunting.
Yes, he is. Cannot give up any more points to Johnny Avilla. Thinking ahead a little bit in the race here, the bonus point for most laps led. Somebody gets to 88 laps led, that's enough to take that bonus point. Johnny Avilla already about to put number 46 up on the board. He's getting close here to nailing that point down for himself.
And Johnny Avilla goes even faster with the fast lap at a 27.40. Absolutely flying around this circuit.
27.404, second best lap, Kevin Dyck at a 27.669. That lap may not get touched the rest of the way here.
It's a very nice lap.
Yes, it is. Kevin Dyck goes faster that time by at a 27.574, but it's still not going to be enough. I'll tell you what, they are getting close. In fact, let's take a look here and go on board with Kevin Dyck. Dyck can have about 40 laps left to catch Johnny Avilla. He wants to claim those bonus points, and having the teammate right there, that could be big. They can get a 2-for-1 special here on Johnny Avilla. It's going to make it back to being a 1-point game entering stage number 3. Johnny Avilla continuing to hold about a third, maybe a quarter of a second gap here over Kevin Dyck. No real incentive for Johnny Avilla to push this, though. We've talked about this before. That Elan Pro style of, I'm only going to do what I have to. That can really come in big late in these races.
Yeah, but because by not exerting yourself early in the race, or more importantly, exerting your tires, it gives you a little extra to where if you have to push more with the last 5 laps to go, you have that extra 5% left in the tank to go out there and grab it. Rather than pushing the car 110% and praying for dear life.
Well, and it makes you wonder how many of these guys may have taken tires on their pit stops at this point. 42 laps, not a huge number when you could go potentially as many as 100 plus. Only puts you about halfway through the tire stint. But I would imagine at the same time, you want to be able to have one in the box for late in the race. Is there a lot of reason to kind of chance that on pit road early in the race?
No, unless your only concern is getting those stage 2 bonus points. Which I guess if Johnny goes in to get those tires at stage 1, Kevin almost has to if he wants to be competitive coming to stage 2.
After absolute carnage, 5 cars involved in an incident on lap number 1, right after the green flag. We have everybody on the lead lap of this race with the exception of Tim Knott, who went out early after 6 laps, the biggest contact involved in that incident early on in this race. So 11 cars still out on the racetrack. Thomas Wilhite did not take the green flag here tonight in car number 19. If they run it out to the end of the stage as they run, the gap will increase to 4 points for Johnny Avilla. But perhaps most importantly, it actually will jump to 5 because if he claims the rest of the laps led, he will cross the number needed for the most laps led bonus point as well. To this point in the race, no bonus points for Kevin Dyck. In fact, Johnny Avilla also has the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, I would think next time they come to get tires, Kevin's kind of got to go into full qualifying mode, depending on how they end up after stage 2, what the point differential is. Which I'm not sure if these drivers are keeping tally in their heads or just going, I'm going to run out there as best I can and see what it is at the end of the day.
Well, even some of them may have the broadcast on for that matter because they know we're going to be updating the viewers on what those numbers look like. Top 4 all nose to tail. Everybody else is seconds apart on the racetrack. Hunter Waters, 2 1/4 back of Max Williams. 3 seconds back to Mike. 3 further seconds back to Mike McConville. 1 second back of McConville is Brad Allison. 9 seconds back of him is Daniel Pinkston. Already, John Moeller has gone 1 lap down once again. Troy Haight is going to be the next car to go a lap down, and he is not too crazy far in front of the leaders at this point. It's funny, you can sort of feel the tension starting to build a little bit here because even if we get late in this race, everybody running nose to tail, all it takes is one of these guys at the front to have an issue, whether it's Johnny Avilla or Kevin Dyck. Kevin Dyck can fall way behind on the bonus points and the stage points. But Johnny Avilla has a problem that puts him out of this race. He's right back into it with a chance to claim the title.
Yeah, I mean, every little thing that happens tonight is going to have an impact on who ends up winning the championship. Every lap matters tonight.
And even the fluky things, you'll see them happen in the real world. Guys losing Indy 500s because of a 10-cent washer. Well, power blinks, controls break, sim controls break. There's all sorts of things that can possibly happen in these races.
Cat manages to step on the Alt key and the F4 key. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
I mean, Benny Hamlin's kid took him out of the race by hitting the TV remote in accident.
No, actually, I think just walked in and shut everything off. But yes, yeah, there's just lots of weirdness that can happen in these races. And quite frankly, you have to expect it at this point.
Not only that, I like it when it comes out to a tie like this naturally versus NASCAR stage form or NASCAR's points format. Because NASCAR's points format is just, I finish ahead of you, I win. This is, you know, Johnny Avilla could have an issue on the last lap, not finish the race, stay a lap down, but still have enough bonus points that he got tonight where he still beats Kevin Dyck for the championship. Or vice versa, or any way you look at it. There's so many possibilities.
That's exactly right. It's not the whole race matters. Not just what carnage possibly happens on lap 174. You could get all the carnage you need on 174. The entire race is what matters. I mean, we're already working lap number 67. They're ticking these things off in a hurry. Still in the, we'll say, high 28-second bracket at this point. The fall off is there, and this is really where some of these drivers were talking about. From kind of like lap 30 on, the tires were just absolutely junk. You really got to watch yourself because a little twitch off of turn number 2 and all of a sudden you're nosed into that pit wall safer barrier, game over.
At that point, it's kind of just go out there and run laps, and hopefully there's enough carnage where you can make back enough points.
Yeah, that's almost a benefit to a shorter field. You go out of the race early in a 40-car run, the best you're going to do is get back to 35th. Here, with only now 10 cars still on the racetrack, you really can make up positions here if somebody else has an issue. While we are in the middle of stage number 2, let's give a big thank you to all of the people that have helped present the Sim Racers Club Premier Series this season. Starting with SimSpeedShop.com, overall season-long champion, picking up a NASCAR-style wheel and heading into the night. That award already claimed by Johnny Avilla. 1,366 points to Kevin Dyck's 12-12. So no way Kevin Dyck could catch him tonight. Avila winning the spring season championship, picking up a button box courtesy of Sim Speed Shop. 3 more going out for the safe driver draw. That will happen after the conclusion of tonight's racing. Make sure you check them out, simspeedshop.com, for all of your sim racing hardware needs. Also got to say a big thank you. I'm choking on myself. Big thank you to Northland Leisure putting up the cash for the stage winners. I'm not going anywhere near that one. Stage winner cash courtesy of Northland Leisure. Thank you very much for your support. Check them out at facebook.com/Northland Leisure. Realty Executive Saskatoon putting up the award for the fastest lap of the race. Those going out week in and week out, in addition to the bonus point. And finally, Custom Paints and Diecast putting up the cash for the hard charger and the biggest loser in each race. Hard charger right now looks like that's going to belong to Mike McConville, running in a 6th position, up 4 from where he started. Tyler Seville, the biggest loser. He is down 6, just going 1 lap down. Brad Allison making his way onto pit lane here at lap number 74 with 101 laps remaining. Kevin Dyck doing almost what he needs to do at this point. He's caught back up to Johnny Avila, keeping him in his sights. That's the important part, I guess, right now. It doesn't, you don't have to pass him just yet, but you do have to be close.
You might want to pass him soon, though. If Johnny Avila gets those 88 laps led, that gives him another bonus point.
Yeah, at this point, he's led 74. You're basically going to have to lead the rest of the way out, or most of the rest of the way.
Or
factor in
someone else is going to have to.
Well, correct. But factor in some pit cycles and those sorts of things, and you're definitely looking at the numbers are not on Kevin Dyck's side at this point for that one. Good battle here for position number 4. Max Williams, Hunter Waters side by side. They've been trading these spots for a couple of laps now.
This is the good racing Phoenix was always known for, is you can kind of trade positions with a guy lap after lap after lap. All 5 corners of this track are super.
Oh, hold on to it! Wow, what a save, Max Williams. Well done, sir.
Normally, I'd say it's Hunter Waters in a pickle, but I guess Max Williams was feeling a little hungry today.
Yeah, sliding on pickle juice or something out there.
Not touching that one.
Good idea. Johnny Avilla, Kevin Dyck, Andrew Moore, the only guys that are anywhere close to each other. I feel bad a little bit that we're not really showing anybody else. There's really nothing going on here in the race at this point. In fact, maybe, let's take a look here and go through the field. And we will start this one with race leader Johnny Avilla. He's done it all tonight. Started on the pole, led almost every lap at this point. 78 laps led. Brad Allison has won. Doing what he needs to do to claim the championship. It's been a very good night thus far for Johnny Avilla, but it is not over yet. Running in the second position is Kevin Dyck, and we'll bring you up through the field here. Keep our eyes on race leader Johnny Avilla as we work our way through the field. Kevin Dyck involved in that lap 1 incident. Tyler Seville making contact. The 52 machine, I don't know how it was not significantly damaged in that contact, but he didn't really hit anything else after Seville got him spun around. Thus far, Kevin Dyck putting up a big-time effort getting himself towards a championship, but as it stands right now, just not going to be enough. Running in the third position, pie-eyed racing teammate of Kevin Dyck, it is Andrew Moore Jr. Moore being the good foot soldier here tonight. He's had a pretty good season, all things considered. Moore entering the night with a chance to pass Tyler Seville. He was only 10 points back and may be able to do that with some of the stage points and bonus points. 1 win on the season, 5 top 5s, 10 top 10s for Andrew Moore Jr. Sneaking fast, this guy. Seems to always be up towards the front, and he's never the guy we're actively talking about, which is pretty crazy. Running
Fantastic paint scheme on that car, too. I don't know why we don't look at it more.
I'll tell you what, that Gulf oil scheme is just
iconic.
Chef's kiss. Running in the 4th position tonight is the fastest pickle in the South. Hunter Waters, Mountain Dew on the helmet. Hunter's Fried Pickles on the side of that number 7. Approaching full Ricky Bobby territory here. He is locked in to 5th position in the point standings heading into this race. 1 pole, 1 win, 7 top 5s, 10 top 10s for Hunter Waters. A very consistent season for the pilot of car number 7. Running in the 5th position is Max Williams. Max has had a pretty good year as well. He is inside the top 10, only 8 points back of Will Worsler. So he will move up to the 8th position with Will not running this evening. Picking up 1 win, 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and 11 bonus points. It's been a pretty good season thus far for Max Williams. Teammate for YJ Esports, Mike McConville, running right back behind in car number 57. Mike, little bit hit and miss. 11 starts this season. If he makes it to the end, he's really good and really fast. He will finish this season in the 11th position in points. 1 top 5, 6 top 10s for the Cape May, New Jersey native. Daniel Pinkston into 22, runs in the 7th position. As we work lap number 87, so this will be the last car that we take a look at on through the field. Pinkston 18 in the point standings tonight, 1 top 10 this season. Probably not the best run that he would have hoped for, but looking forward to seeing Daniel back in 2023. I can't believe we're talking about that already, but pick up race.
I'm 23 years old. I'm starting to feel like an old man. I wonder how you're feeling.
I have underwear older than you.
John Olson that runs the Lotus 49s says that to me every time we run. Kid, I've got t-shirts older than you.
Yeah, I do. I have racing t-shirts that are older than you. God, that makes me feel really old. Working lap number 89. It'll be 1 lap to go in stage number 2.
Get ready for the end of the stage break.
Well, yes,
I have to do more math.
It'll be a green and white checkered flag next time by, but there will not be a yellow flag attached to this one. 0.8 of a second is the gap between Johnny Avilla and Kevin Dyck.
And Johnny Avilla locking up another bonus point with the most laps led. So long as he crossed the start finish line and first coming through here.
Well, he's already led 88 circuits. That makes it 89. 1 bonus point for Johnny Avilla for leading the most laps. And at the end of stage number 2, that is another 10 points for Avilla. 22 thus far earned by Johnny Avilla, only 17 for Kevin Dyck. So the difference is 5 as it sits right now. Oh, a little bit of smoke there. May have been Max Williams. Now the question becomes, Patrick, when do we see the final set of pit stops? Johnny Avilla joked with us in the pre-race that he was hoping somebody else would pit before him and wreck, trying to get onto pit lane. And there it is. Caution is out. Trouble for Max Williams.
Choking on yourself again?
Oh my goodness. My sinuses are absolutely killing me at the moment. Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. See what happened to car number 8. Oh man, back steps out. Entering turn 2. Oh, big hit there for the 28 of Troy Haight as well. But Max Williams losing the rear end of the race car. Looks like Brad Allison may also be having trouble. All your leaders are on pit lane. They can go the distance from here. I would imagine you have to take a set of tires here, whether you'll have 2 or 1 left in the box.
Points as they run right now. Kevin Dyck trails by 8 points. As it sits, Johnny Avilla would have to finish 9th or worse, and Kevin Dyck would have to win the race for him to win the championship.
Kevin Dyck overshoots the box slightly coming into pit lane. Crew going to work on both of the top 2 cars here as they are on pit lane. 4 fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles, 2 cans Sunoco Fuel. Johnny Avilla will easily win the race off of pit lane. Kevin Dyck, Andrew Moore going to follow off of the pit lane. Hunter Waters, Max Williams, Mike McConville all still sitting in their pit boxes. Hunter Waters just now back out onto the racetrack. There's Daniel Pinkston. How about a good run for the 22. We were just talking about him a moment ago. Hunter Waters and Pinkston both going to make their way down pit lane this time. Max Williams will be in his box for an extended period for repairs. Mike McConville is getting back out onto the racetrack, as is Brad Allison. So through the shuffling cycles of pit stops here, let's pick up your race leaders. And let's see if we can't talk to Johnny Avilla. And Johnny, I tell you what, bud, you talked in the pre-race. You wanted to win stage 1, win stage 2, lead every lap, do the whole bit. Mission accomplished thus far.
Yeah, but I don't have any tires left for the end of the race. So I don't even know if I'm going to make it on fuel. I don't know if anybody can make it on fuel from this point. It's that caution definitely threw a wrench in a lot of people's plans.
Well, that's kind of interesting. Do you now back it down a little bit and try to conserve, or is it screw it, balls to the wall, and hope you make it?
I don't even think I could save enough to make it to the end. I think you just go pick a lap, top it off, and go back at it.
All right, buddy. Well, 1 to green here. Sure. Good luck the rest of the way, bud. We appreciate you checking in with us.
Thanks, man. This would be interesting.
Oh, there you go. Johnny Avila says it's going to be interesting. So splash and dash somewhere. How's that for scare the crap out of you late in the race? You need to make a quick splash of fuel. Don't speed coming in. Don't speed exiting. Don't hit the commitment code. Don't screw anything up under green flag pit stops. It could cost you a championship. One other thing to look at here, Patrick. We're very close to Johnny Avila locking this championship up. And the reason I say that, we're down to 7 cars on the lead lap. There's only so far to fall at this point, is kind of what I'm getting at.
Basically, as long as Johnny Avila doesn't wreck that race car right now, the math works out to it being his night. Now, of course, if he gets a 1X, that reduces his point lead by 1. If Kevin Dyck manages to get the fastest lap here, that reduces it by another 1. And if Kevin Dyck is able to lead a lap, that brings it down by a total of 3, which is still only a difference of 5. So as long as Johnny Avila finishes in the top 5, no matter what, it's his win tonight.
If you're Kevin Dyck, do you have to consider playing the strategy game here and maybe saying, I have to try to save a bunch? Maybe not, because here he is. He is right there. Up underneath the rear end of Johnny Avila.
Just trying to trip that little 2X mark right there just to get rid of that bonus point. I don't think Kevin would do that, but it's definitely in the back of his head. Like, I wonder.
Man, I'll tell you what. It's not in the back of my head. It's right at the front. It's a point. It doesn't hurt Johnny Avila at all. If you don't dump him, but you give him the 2X, that in my mind, that's part of the game. Knowing how the point system is structured. Yeah, I'll give you a little shot in the rear end. It'll be 75 laps to go in the Sim Racers Club Premier Series season next time by the start-finish line. We'll be coming back in February for the 2023 season, but a lot still to be decided. Hunter Waters able to pass Andrew Moore. You saw that one off the restart. Moore sliding way up the racetrack. This is kind of what you want to see. Not kind of. This is what you want to see. Your 2 championship combatants running for the race lead. This is something that happens, and it happens organically in the Cup Series as well. But for a lot of years, it was your top 4 ran 1, 2, 3, 4 for a lot of that race. Guys played nice, got out of their way. That has not been the case here tonight. Andrew Moore Jr. on 2 restarts ago, being a little bit nice, showing his teammate a solid, getting him up to 2nd. But these guys are working hard, and Hunter Waters, Andrew Moore Jr., they're trying to drive these cars back up towards the front of the field.
Yeah, it's almost like a dogfight with aircraft, where you have your main guy and you have your wingman right behind you, and the 2 wingmans on the opposing sides are fighting, and then the 2 main guys at the front, they're fighting too, and one of your wingmen falls out, and all of a sudden it's 2 against 1. And I've watched enough Flyers hockey to know that doesn't work out for you.
I wish we would just tank the whole season. That's just...
You already have. You've been doing that all season long.
Well, not nearly enough.
Good for me, though. Flyers tickets are getting cheap.
Yeah.
I'll just wait till the Islanders playing at Wells Fargo. I'll come infiltrate.
That'll go over well for you. So let us know your picks
Broad
down
Street
there.
Bullies.
Yeah. Let us know your picks down there in the comments. We will get them up on the air. Thank you, everybody who's tuned in on YouTube and on Twitch. $70 laps to go. This time by the start-finish line. 106 on the scoreboard. Johnny Avilla has led 104 of the 105 laps completed.
Which is just domination.
Yeah, you know what? He's done just enough at this point.
He could let Kevin Dyck go by right here and say, yep, you can have it. I've done what I've needed to do. I'll sit second all the way to the finish. Just pull the Elaine Prost. I don't need to win the race to win the championship.
That's exactly it. If Kevin Dyck starts getting a little antsy back there, I would think you almost have to let him go. Go ahead, take the win. It does me no damage whatsoever if you win this race.
But if he stays out there and Kevin Dyck is beating on his rear bumper over and over and over again and ends up wrecking him, whether it be intentional or unintentional, I know it wouldn't be intentional, but regardless, that could be championship, that could be season over. You'll just let him go though and finish second, and you've got the big prize.
Do you think either of these guys are driving in a Canadian tuxedo tonight, like in preparation for a championship interview?
I am going to say almost definitely not.
That's kind of disappointing. We'll have to ask him that. We'll ask Johnny in the post race or Kevin, whoever our champ is. Do you have a Canadian tuxedo for the official championship pictures?
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them ended up drenching themselves in milk that came out of a bag.
I say a bag of milk. Yes.
No champagne tonight, just bag milk.
We like you, Canada. We really do.
We do? No, just kidding. I'm kidding.
Address the hate mail to Bizzle at nationalracingnetwork.com. Let's take a look here. Bring up the side-by-side because second battle forming up here, and it's going to be for third position. Hunter Waters holding off Andrew Moore Jr. Mike McConville having a nice run up inside the top 5. He's your hard charger at the moment, picking up that cash from Custom Paints and Die Casts. Tyler Seville, still your biggest loser, down 6. And at this point, he may need a little bit of help from somebody ahead of him. He is the first car 1 lap down, so at a caution flag, he'll get the lucky dog. Seeing Brad Allison just ahead of Johnny Avilla and Kevin Dyck. Allison running in the 7th position. He'll be the next car to go 1 lap down. Man, it really makes you question, when do you make that final stop? And if it's under green, I would think it has to be a splash and dash. Even if you have a set of tires in the box, you just can't afford to take the time.
I would definitely be pushing it out as long as possible. With how much trouble these guys have had getting onto pit road, I know we haven't had any green flag stops tonight, but in practice, it seemed like nobody could get on the pit road. So I would wait until someone else tries it first. Like Johnny said, wait till someone else does it and wrecks themselves, caution will come out, and you'll be able to go in pit.
Tyler Seville ahead of Brad Allison. Now Daniel Pinkston going a lap down. Pinkston in the 6th position. So we're down to 5 cars on the lead lap with 61 laps to go here at Phoenix. Only 21 laps into this tire run, so they really could go another 30 laps or so before things start to get a little bit iffy on the tires. Paige and Clint Boyer, by the way, to car number 15, please.
Your arm hurt?
It's an itch.
Your arm hurt, Clint?
Apparently, Boyer that night had the worst case of poison ivy that the NASCAR team doctors had ever seen. He was head to toe in poison ivy, getting cortisone shots before the race to try to take some of the swelling down. So he definitely did have the poison ivy. It just so happened that the unplanned code word of scratch the itch was, well, it was found out.
Well, I mean, you know, take a bad situation and try and work it to your advantage. So definitely power to him.
Well, and that's something, I mean, obviously, you're not going to see something like that tonight. If it's not going to be intentional. If there's an incident on the racetrack, stuff happens, you kind of expect that. That's a little bit different than I'm going to intentionally wreck these guys. Andrew Moore Jr. is not going to wreck Hunter Waters or vice versa to help their teammates out. I'll tell you what, you do have to wonder, when does Kevin Dyck decide he has to make the move? Or would you rather be in second and kind of able to play strategy off of what the guy in front of you has to do? Kevin Dyck, I would imagine, can save a little bit of fuel here.
Yeah, just sit behind him, sit in that draft, and hope you don't have to pit, and he does. That would put Johnny Avila a lap down and definitely make things interesting.
Yeah, that would make things interesting in a very big way if Kevin Dyck was able to trap Johnny Avila one lap down. Tyler Seville, by the way, passing Daniel Pinkston. So Seville is back to being the first car one lap down. And it's still about half a racetrack away before they're going to catch Mike McConville. Max Williams not making life easy on the race, leaders. Williams with only 11 laps on his tires, so getting himself back out onto the racetrack. Currently running in the 11th position, last of the cars that are still running. Brad Allison in the 0-3, making his way down pit lane. That will be the first of the final stops of the season. We'll cover that one for you on the side-by-side. .51 laps to go next time they cross the start-finish line. Allison making his way off a pit lane, and he is going to come up right in front of your race leaders. Actually, just getting, both of the two leaders just getting past Allison. But he will be on fresher tires. Oh, John Moeller, big slide, what a save. John Moeller able to get that car down onto pit lane. My goodness, give you a Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay on that one. Trying to get onto pit lane, big slide and lock up. Doesn't hit anything. Hunter Waters starting to catch in on Kevin Dyck here. The gap from Johnny Avilla to Kevin Dyck, a half second. It's down to a third of a second between Dyck and Hunter Waters. Now, if you have a set of tires, oh man, I don't know. It could be worth it with how quick the tires are and only 40-some laps to go. If you have them, is it worth leaving bullets in the gun? I don't know.
If I were Kevin Dyck and getting ready to pit right now, I might try it. I've got nothing to lose. Johnny Avila, though?
Well, Johnny's out of tires.
That is true.
He told us already. He's out of tires. So if Kevin Dyck has a set of new sneakers left in that number 52 pit box, it could get spicy here late in this race. But I would imagine at some point he would probably have to pit soon to make that strategy call work. Only because you're going to need a bunch of laps to catch him.
I'm seeing his last lap, his last pit stop was a 14.42 second stop. So I believe Kevin Dyck is out of tires as well.
Yes, did he take them at...
He did take them on the first caution.
Okay.
On the first stage break.
Yeah, so that both of your leaders are out of tires, then it's just a matter of who can spend less time on pit lane. That one obviously is going to be the overcut. Run that thing as long as you possibly can. .45 to go here at Phoenix. Top three separated by about 1 second, second and a half. Actually, I'm sorry, about 9/10 of a second between your top three.
Brad Allison on a fresh set of sneakers, clawing through these leaders. Going from 3 laps down, he's about to go to 2 laps down.
Yeah, no reason for Kevin Dyck to put up a fight there. I would imagine Johnny Avila will do something similar. Man, that just makes you so nervous if you're the race leader. Like, go ahead, bud, just go. I know you're faster.
And they're teammates, too. I imagine he's saying, get the hell out of my way. If you're faster, hit the loud pedal and go.
Yeah, don't trap me on the outside where the car is going to want to snap loose. So we're about halfway through this final run. They've run 39 laps, now 40 laps on this set of tires. There are 42 laps to go. The question becomes, at what point do you have to come down pit road? Andrew Moore falling back significantly from Hunter Waters. Those two drivers now separated by 1 1/4 seconds, and that gap is growing. In fact, Mike McConville gaining a little bit of ground on Andrew Moore. McConville running in the 5th position and kind of holding station. He's still about a half lap ahead of Johnny Avila. We've talked some superlatives here. These two drivers, Johnny Avila, Kevin Dyck, combining for over 800 laps led. top 10 finishes. Avilla, he's 100%. Every start, he's been inside the top 10. Kevin Dyck, 84% of his starts have been inside the top 10. 83% inside the top 5 for Johnny Avilla. Quite honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that Avilla missed 2 races over the course of the season, we're probably not talking about this being a tight championship battle at all. Avila's just been that good.
Yeah, of course, all the drivers get 1 drop week, so Kevin Dyck is dropping his Daytona result, and Johnny Avilla is dropping the first race he missed, which was Michigan. But even still, Johnny Avilla is down 1 race worth of points, and it could be his championship. No definites yet, but the numbers are definitely swaying one way.
This is when you start to hear things. Like everything has gone too smoothly at this point.
You start hearing the fans kick on in your wheel like, oh God, don't be overheating now. It's never overheated before, but if it's going to overheat, it's going to be right now. Every little thing is going on inside your head. You start noticing, you start rolling onto the throttle, and you see the input jumping a little bit. Oh man, I should have cleaned the potentiometers in my throttle. Everything is falling apart. I guess these things are sequential, so it doesn't matter anymore, but I always have an issue with my shifter. Never happens to me while I'm losing a race. Whenever I'm in the lead, though, when I do a 2nd gear to 3rd gear shift, it'll register that I put it into the 1st gear gate, and it'll blow the engine, and I'll look at the shifter and go, nope, that's definitely in 3rd. That wasn't my error.
Yeah, I don't have the expensive toys like that. I'm still running. I'm running a racing wheel that's older than you are, actually.
No, you're on a Logitech moment. Oh, man.
Oh, we've got 1 car hard into the wall. Big wreck for Troy Haight. My goodness, that puts us under the caution flag. And it will give the race leaders the free caution pit stop that they needed. Let's take a look at the Hot Shoe Raceware instant replay. Just back behind your race leaders. Oh, Hunter Waters trying to get down to the inside.
I don't think he was.
Hookaroo.
I don't think Hunter Waters is trying to get down there. I just think Troy Haight bobbled a little bit and bounced off the nose. Oh, Hunter came down a little bit, but Troy Haight also never turned into the corner. Or at least was turning in very, very, very late.
Yeah, he was not going for the dog leg, and I think Hunter Waters may have been. But a big hit for Troy Haight. He has to take the jump into the pit lane. Interesting. Andrew Moore Jr. is on pit lane. The rest of your race leaders are not.
Maybe they know this saves them enough fuel that they can make it to the end, or maybe Johnny was just trying to play with our strings a little bit, getting a little bit of fun out of us.
Maybe.
It'll be funny to listen to those guys talk about not being able to make the end of the race on fuel the whole last half of the race.
Well, yeah, if you get the caution flags to fall at the right time, you're going to get those numbers kind of where you need them to be.
Especially maybe if they're counting on, hey, cautions breed cautions.
11.45 seconds, the time of the stop for Andrew Moore Jr. Well, let's take a look here. I'm not sure if we're going to go back to the See, I don't think we're going to get the one to go this time by. Let's see if we can talk to Johnny Avila here quickly under the caution flag. And Johnny, I'm trying to figure out if you were screwing with us or what here, but are you good to go on fuel here, and was it ever really a concern?
It was a concern, but that's because AJ's not here, so like clearly I'm very bad at math. So I think we're good. I was scared, but my fuel numbers look okay. Tyler, of course, saved a set of tires, so he's going to come flying through. Watch out for him.
Yeah, that's the one. He got the lucky dog and a chance to swap the tires out, so that one's going to be absolutely a blast to watch here. So good luck the rest of the way, Johnny. We'll see who we're see when we're talking to you a little bit later.
All right, thanks, bud.
There you go. There's Johnny Avila. All right. Since we're under caution,
we should have told him, like, dude, I don't know what you've been doing, but you're trailing by 5 points. You got to get after it.
I don't think he's that dumb. 90210, since you're calling me out, eating meat from an animal that was in a coma is perfectly vegan because that animal is technically a vegetable. Maybe?
I see, like, the jumps you're making in your head. I just don't know if I necessarily... Context, I used to race for a vegan racing team. I was the only non-vegan on the team, so I'm trying to, like, do the math in my head, and I'm not getting 2 + 2 = 4 up there.
Jumping the shark fillet a little bit there, I think, possibly. Green flag back in the air. 30 laps to go here at Phoenix. Can Kevin Dyck get Johnny Avila and get himself a fall season championship? Great restart for Avila. I'm still trying to wrap my head around a vegan racing team. Whatever.
We were sponsored by a bunch of, like, vegan protein supplement companies and stuff. I used to get a package at my doorstep every month. It was fun.
Avila doing what he needs to do here on the restart, already opening up the gap to 0.6 of a second over Kevin Dyck. You have to wonder, was there any damage that Kevin Dyck sustained in that early incident? Maybe just enough that the car wasn't as good as it could have been. But there's still a lot of racing left to go here as well.
I mean, could Kevin Dyck still be suffering? Could there be damage on that car from that not even turn 1 incident on lap 1?
Yeah, don't look now. Here comes Tyler Seville. He's got fresh sneakers, and he is going to make the big move on Kevin Dyck, way down to the inside. Last time he tried that, it ended up spinning and wrecking half the field. This time, not so much. Tyler Seville easily able to clear Kevin Dyck. That's another point to the good for Johnny Avila.
Now, is Avila just going to let him by, or is Avila going to say, dang it, I want the win? I don't see why you don't let him by.
Other than the fact that doesn't the win get you 3 bonus points?
I am not sure. I have the rule book up right here, so I would double check.
And again, I don't know that it matters at this point. It's going to take a problem for Johnny Avila, as Tyler Seville is easily able to pass the 63.
No. Winner gets 40 points, and second place gets 39.
Okay, so it's only a 1-point swing for Johnny Avila. Let's slide back here, pick up Hunter Waters and Andrew Moore Jr. They're fighting nose to tail. About 1.2 seconds off the back bumper of Kevin Dyck. This is the battle for the 4th position. Mike McConville already 5 seconds back of this battle as well. Inside of 25 laps to go. It's down to 23 as it stands right now. Hunter Waters able to clear Andrew Moore Jr. Going to be all lap traffic back behind. Tyler Seville, he's long gone. 2.25 seconds up on Johnny Avila. If you had the set of tires, that was the time to use them. I would imagine both Johnny Avila and Kevin Dyck maybe kicking themselves a little bit, not being able to save a set of tires for late in the race. But I don't know that the cautions necessarily worked out that way either.
Yeah, that late race caution was not a definite. It was definitely a gamble. Also noticing Tyler Seville is not running as fast as he possibly could be. Maybe trying to avoid getting the fastest lap so Johnny Avila can keep that bonus point.
Yeah, last lap 28.575 for Tyler Seville. About 0.4 off of his best at a 28.145. Fastest lap of the race does still belong to Johnny Avila. That would be 6 points to the good for Johnny Avila, factoring in the fastest lap, because unless Tyler Seville takes it, nobody is going to be taking that on tires that are significantly older. 63 laps thus far on the tires for Johnny Avila and Kevin Dyck.
Has Kevin led a lap that I'm missing? My math isn't working out.
No, Kevin Dyck does not have a lap led.
Alrighty. So yeah, Johnny is still, as they run, 8 points to the good.
Now, that is assuming there is a 0x bonus point for Johnny Avila. Not necessarily a guarantee. I don't think that car has seen the outside wall at all here, but...
I was going to say, I haven't seen him hit anything or do anything that would warrant any X's, but I am not sure.
A little bit of salt in the wound for Kevin Dyck, that the guy who got into him causing that lap 1 incident is now absolutely running away with this race. Let's bring up the side-by-side here. There's Tyler Seville, a solid 6 seconds ahead of Johnny Avila. 6.5 seconds, actually, as we'll be down to 15 laps to go next time by the start-finish line. And at this point, even if Johnny Avila were to have an issue, yeah, this championship battle is over. John Moeller is 16 laps down in the 9th position. The only way Kevin Dyck can win this championship is if Johnny Avila has an issue and Kevin Dyck is able to pass Tyler Seville for the race win.
And John Moeller would have to pick up 2 laps. And Johnny Avila would have to wreck pretty much right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He would be back because it would be 9 points would be the difference between first and, or 7 points would be the difference between first and eighth. But so you wouldn't get the 0x, so that would put you back to 7. And then Kevin Dyck would get the point for leading a lap. So yeah, this is basically Johnny Avila has to wreck in the next 13 laps. And hope nobody else goes out of the race either.
To tie it. And Johnny Avila wins the tiebreaker anyway.
Correct. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is pretty much over at this point.
Don't start celebrating too soon, though. There's always that chance where, actually, if Johnny Avila has an issue that he wrecks and takes the car out, that would be a 1x. And
Correct. That's what I'm saying. He would lose that bonus point. So it's not over yet.
Don't start celebrating yet, but definitely get the champagne ready.
If somebody else goes out of the race, even Brad Allison, if Brad Allison were to park the car, that would be enough to get Johnny Avila the championship.
And Brad Allison is a teammate to Johnny Avila.
Correct. But I don't
Johnny
think he's
Avila
going to
has an
park it
issue.
with 10 to go.
At the same time, I don't know if I would consider it completely wrong for a teammate to park it. I mean, it's a bit of team orders kind of playing around like that, but at the same time, it's you're a teammate and you're already 2 laps down. There's nothing to gain by staying on the track.
Yeah, that's the big one for me. I don't necessarily see the logic in kind of pushing that direction, but that's just kind of me. I wouldn't want to win a championship that way.
As well as
Johnny Avila doing a lot of the Road to Pro stuff at this point. You celebrate the championships that you earned the hard way on the racetrack.
Oh yeah, and he already has a button box from the spring season, so I'm sure he won't be too sad losing the one from the fall season.
And he's already picked up the NASCAR style wheel courtesy of SimSpeedShop.com as well, winning the overall season championship. Let's give the plugs one more time as we're down here to 7 laps to go at Phoenix. Thank you very much to SimSpeedShop.com, the overall presenting sponsor of the Sim Racers Club. Overall champ picking up a NASCAR style wheel. That one will be heading out to Johnny Avila just in time for Christmas. Spring and fall champions going to pick up a button box. Johnny Avila's already got one for the spring championship. We'll see what he's going to do here with the... does he use the second button box? I guess you can never have too many buttons when you're sim racing, but...
He already has like 4 of them. We were talking about this last week with him. He's got so many of them at this point. He doesn't know what to do with them anymore.
Send one my way. I'll find a way to push buttons or something. Anyway, thank you very much to SimSpeedShop.com for your support. Check them out, SimSpeedShop.com. Northland Leisure putting up the cash for the stage winners. The big prize is going out tonight to Johnny Avila. Find them on Facebook at Northland Leisure. Realty Executive Saskatoon putting up the cash for the fastest lap of the race. That one also going to go to Johnny Avila here this evening. You're making out like a bandit tonight. Custom Paints and Diecast, the cash sponsor of the Hard Charger and the Biggest Loser. Right now, your Hard Charger of the race, Mike McConville, running in 5th. He is up 4 positions. Biggest Loser. Now, the number 28 of Troy Haight. He is down 4 and out of the race in the 11th position. So now down to 4 laps to go in the Sim Racers Club Premier Series season. Oh, hold on to it. Johnny Avila sliding way up towards the outside wall. Hunter Waters passing Kevin Dyck for position number 3. We'll show you that one quickly on the Hot Shoe Raceway instant replay.
Just has to make it to the start-finish line to guarantee the championship. Don't bin it now.
Oh man, Kevin Dyck having an issue out on the racetrack. He about spun off of turn number 4. So that's going to put Kevin Dyck back to the 4th position. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Your race winner, race leader, in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Coming down the backstretch for the final time through turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag goes in the air. Tyler Seville gets the win at Phoenix.
Johnny Avila miles back.
Yeah, Johnny Avila about 13 seconds back at the finish. He will claim your fall season championship. Hunter Waters coming across the line. He picks up the 3rd position. Kevin Dyck finishes 4th. Andrew Moore 5th. There's a look at Johnny Avila, your spring, fall, and overall champion in the Sim Racers Club. Yes. Hunter Waters is going to join the party here. Will Worsler Racing absolutely burns the house down when they pick up a win. Win as a team, lose as a team. Going to be a whole lot of burnt rubber there. Pick up Tyler Seville, your race winner as well. Trying to figure out where the Will Worsler Racing guys are heading to here. Oh, they're heading to Victory Lane.
I was going to say, probably Victory Lane.
Well, there you go. They're going to burn them down all the way up the hill into Victory Lane as well.
Johnny Avila doing the Gregson, doing the burnout into Victory Lane. God, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's how you do it, boys. Well done. That pretty new Phoenix Raceway Victory Lane. Johnny Avila's, well, he's about to launch himself into orbit.
I believe we should put a sensor over what he's doing to that poor guardrail. Or handrail.
Well,
Tyler Seville, too. All of them are...
Yeah, whole team's up there in Victory Lane.
Yeah. Doing X-rated things in Victory Lane. I've only seen this in the movies. Is that one in the Kama Sutra?
Oh my goodness. Well, this is going to be a party. And let's see, actually, we may even just head down to the Will Worsler Racing chat here. If you want to head down there and warn them that we're just gonna come down to them since, well, quite frankly, all of them are there. fantastic show these guys are putting on in Victory Lane. I think they've all now blown up. Let's
Clear and waiting for the broadcast.
All right, then let's pop down to the Will Worsler Racing Team party down here. Let's pick up. We'll start things off here with Hunter Waters, our third place finisher here tonight. Hunter, congratulations. Heck of a run, heck of a season. Man, everything you guys from Will Worsler Racing wanted to accomplish tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I think a great bookend to the season, us being able to get 1, 2, and 3. I would like to also to apologize to Troy on spinning him out for that last caution there. It was not my intention. I was assuming he was going to go lower, and you know what assuming does, and it got me there. So, but yes, definitely really happy for WWR, for Tyler for winning tonight, Johnny for winning the championship. So we couldn't be more happy.
Talk us through the night from your perspective, because early on it was Johnny and Kevin kind of running away with things. You had some nice battles with Andrew Moore. It really was a fun race, and quite frankly, the car seemed like it was a challenge to drive.
Oh, it was definitely a challenge. The that first period, I was just kind of feeling the car out. Didn't do too many long runs or anything, so just wanted to get an idea for the car there. Wanted to save a bunch of tire at the beginning of that second run. Thought I could make up time, but we really plateaued. So for that final run, I didn't want to get too far back behind Kevin and Johnny, who are both very fast, but I was able to kind of stay close behind. If I didn't spin Troy out, I think I could have had something for the win if it stayed green the rest of the way.
Well, I'll tell you what, bud, congratulations on a very nice third place run here tonight. And before we let you go, make sure you do all the sponsor plugs and thank yous one more time this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to shout out WWR, obviously Johnny and Tyler for a championship win and race win. Brad, Daniel, everybody who was here tonight, Fletch, Will, AJ, Doug, some guys who weren't here tonight, but it's been a lot of fun this season. It's been a lot of fun being able to watch these races and everything. So I just got to shout out to Jordan and Sam for the league. Something I really enjoy. Hope to be back next year. And shout out to you guys up in the booth for a great finale we'll be able to watch back.
Well, thank you much, bud. We appreciate it here. And let's now pick up your teammate, your race winner tonight, Tyler Seville. Talk us through lap one, first and foremost. Everybody was going to the apron until they weren't.
Yeah, I have to first apologize profusely to Kevin. It was just a bonehead move on my part. I just assumed everybody would flow one down under the apron, onto the apron there. Obviously, he didn't, and that's my bad for coming down on him. Thankfully, he didn't have any damage that messed his day up.
Yeah, then obviously that then kind of spun things around a little bit. It put you off strategy, which really kind of set you up for the opportunity to win the race. Able to take your first set of tires later, saved you that set of new sneakers for the end of the race, and man, that thing was a rocket ship in the closing stages.
Yeah, it definitely helps having about 40 to 45 lap fresher tires on there. But yeah, when I decided to go on that alternate strategy, I needed cautions to kind of fall perfectly, and thankfully they ended up doing it.
Well, it was a heck of a season for you, obviously missing a couple of races, but not a bad game when you're going to come home third in points at the end of the season, and really a great team performance overall for you guys.
Yeah, I'm happy. It's kind of what could have been for the second part of the season if I didn't miss those couple races. But it is what it is. Life gets in the way. Huge congrats for Johnny for winning all the titles this year.
Yeah, it was he was impressive to say the least. And let's move over and pick him up. Mr. Johnny Avilla, congratulations. Spring fall overall champion. Man, good Lord, dude. That your car was absolutely incredible tonight.
Yeah, I was just trying to take care of the rear tires because of how loose it got. So I was just trying to see how far Kevin was and just try to manage that gap. And yeah, it was a good race.
Good race, great season. Finishing 11 of 13 inside the top 5. 13 for 13 inside the top 10. You really can't ask for anything else. Dominating performance in the spring. You carried it over into the fall. That really was a big way to close out this season for you.
Yeah, it was massive, but I couldn't have done it without all my teammates here all year long. We all supported each other, helped each other out. We had a great showing all year long.
And you now have approximately 400 button boxes, courtesy of simspeedshop.com. What are you going to do with them all?
Honestly, for this final one that I won, I'm probably going to just give it back to the league. Maybe they can do some type of draft, safe driver award or something. Because, like, I don't need 3. They're great, but I only got so many buttons.
I was going to say, there's only so many buttons to have to push with these cup cars. But, man alive, I'll tell you what, bud, congratulations. A hell of a season. Just dominant all the way around. Before we let you go, get all the sponsors in. That Bulldog Roofwork 63 looks really good out there.
Oh, yeah, I got a nice picture of it in Victory Lane. I got to thank Bulldog Roofworks. Got to thank my teammates. Everybody except for Tyler, because man decided to race the whole race, 1 lap down, save a set, and then come back and win it. But it's a lot of fun racing with these guys every Wednesday, and got to thank the admins that put this league together. They always do a great job, and you guys up in the booth.
All right, bud. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And let me see, Patrick and I will head back to the broadcast booth up top here as we get ready to wrap up the season for the Sim Racers Club. Man alive. the great shots of the cars junked in Victory Lane. We kind of got what we were hoping we would see tonight. Maybe not the race winner outcome that we would have expected, but the championship battle was decided on the racetrack. You couldn't really ask for anything more than that. Johnny and Kevin got to fight this out all the way to the end.
It was scripted almost like a movie. You go in there, obviously he missed the first week of the season, missed another week coming in. I don't want to call him an underdog. He's too good to be called an underdog. But he was fighting an uphill battle, and then you get to the last race and just puts an absolute whooping on it. It was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the numbers entering tonight, Kevin Dyck outscored Johnny Avilla by 10, almost 11 points over the last 4 races of the season heading into this event tonight. This was not what we were expecting. Kevin was better at Gateway than Johnny was. I'll tell you what, there comes to a certain point in a season when the cream has to rise to the top, and Johnny Avilla absolutely did that tonight and left no doubt about who that champion was going to be.
Oh, yeah. It didn't come down to a tiebreaker. It didn't come down to anything. Johnny Avilla came here and said, I'm still on top. I won the other 2 championships this year, and I'm going to do it one more time.
Yeah, if you want to be the big dog, you got to beat the big dog. And Kevin Dyck not able to do that tonight. But I'll tell you what, we got to talk about this guy a little bit. Coming home 4th place tonight, his 9th top 5 in 14 races this season. He had a championship year in every other league that Johnny Avilla wasn't running in.
Oh, yeah. I will never say Kevin Dyck didn't deserve this championship. He had a perfect year, and just tonight, bobbled the ball a little bit, which it happens. It wasn't even a bad night by any measure. It's just Kevin Dyck was 100%, and Johnny Avilla just put out 105% tonight.
Yeah, it was not a bad night for Kevin Dyck. He did, especially after the recovery from that lap 1 incident, he did everything he needed to do reasonably outside of leading every lap, which is basically pretty close to what Johnny Avilla did. Final numbers on the night, Avilla leading 148 of the 175 laps. Tyler Seville leading the final 26 circus. Brad Allison leading one under the exchange of pit stops at a caution flag. It was caution flag number 3. Race took 1 hour and 30 minutes to get completed. Not bad, just a handful of cautions. All in all, a great season from the Sim Racers Club. It is a privilege to be able to get to call these guys every week. Quite frankly, we're going to miss talking about them a little bit during the off season, but we will enjoy some quiet Wednesday nights until the middle of February. We'll be talking to Sam and the Jordans this week, get all the details ironed out, but should be back for another season of Sim Racers Club action, picking back up in February. With that,
I think we should run the winter series.
I
We
might
won't
have
be broadcasting it, but we can absolutely run some race cars out there and
see
how we compare to these guys and finish 8 laps down.
Well, I was going to say, I don't compare to these guys, but to get a little bit of seat time in these next-gen cars, I think will definitely help things in the booth for next season, at least for me anyway, because I don't drive nearly enough on iRacing. So with that, we are getting the heck out of here. We have a big night of racing tomorrow night. The Ezra IndyCar Series will be back, I believe, for the series finale. We'll see. Just waiting to hear back from those guys. Following it up, the Indy Pro 2000 Championship is back. I believe it is now called U.S. Open Wheel C or something. It's Indy Pro 2000. Those guys are coming back, and we're doing a doubleheader. The USF 2000 cars, the D-Class cars. That we talked about the iRacing shuffle of the schedules and aligning the tracks with the cars and this whole thing. Participation is up in both of those classes. Multiple races this week already going official. Thursday night is going to be fun. It's going to be a doubleheader. Indy Pro 2000 open sets, USF 2000 fixed sets. You'll be able to catch all 12 weeks of action right here on the National Racing Network. With that, time for us to get the heck on out of here. It has been a very long season. Thank you very much, Sam Maxwell, the Jordans, everybody at the Sim Racers Club, who, quite frankly, lets us screw off and play around with their league. We really appreciate it. My buddy Patrick Byrne, the Bizzler, up there in the booth. Fantastic job, brother. We truly appreciate you hanging out. And with that, time for us to get the heck on out of here, man. This one was fun. We're looking forward to what's coming up here over the next couple of weeks. But until then, for everybody here at the National Racing Network that makes these shows happen, including my buddy Bizzle, my name's Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will talk to you all soon. Have a good night, everybody.